Welcome back to Candid Football Conversations. After last week's live, we are back again this week with another transfer update show. And we've got two guests here, two people that you have seen on this YouTube channel as well as generally on YouTube. He's already smiling. So, therefore, first introduction Curious Harry, Hiran Patel. Hiran, welcome. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
And another good friend who has become a good friend, I have to say, Shayan Sarkar, who runs the Indian food and football channel here on YouTube as well. Good evening, Shayan.
Good evening, Unav. Good evening, Rahul. Good evening, Curious Harry. I think
Good
we'll have a
evening.
great show today.
Yes, we're looking forward to it. And not to forget my co host, Rahul Naresh. Let's see what BFC has done over the last few days. But talking of BFC, we come to talk of India. We're quite happy that India did beat Vanuatu last night. It was a tough one. But I don't want to go into analysis of the game, but I want to talk about one scene which I think will stick with everybody. The announcement of Sunil that he and Sonam are expecting a child. What a way to do that as Captain Fantastic. I said on Shine Show yesterday, Captain Fantastic hopefully will be will be a fantastic dad. So that's going to be the pressure on Sunil. What do you guys say about that celebration?
I think perfect way to announce it. And I think जब 60th मिनट पे उन्होंने एक हेडर भी मिस किया था तब ज्यादा डिसअपॉइंट वो इसीलिए थे कि भाई अब चांस मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा, लेकिन फाइनली भाई अच्छी चीजें अच्छे लोगों के साथ हो ही जाती है। तो फाइनली 80th मिनट पे सर को मौका मिल गया। मतलब एक फुटबॉलर के लिए इससे बढ़िया मतलब कोई तरीका नहीं हो सकता कि आप अपने जो फैमिली की एक्सटेंशन है उस तरह से मतलब खुशी है उसको इस तरह से अपने फैंस के साथ शेयर करें। एंड फैंस भी मतलब जिस तरह से सुनील सर के साथ जुड़े हुए हैं तो आई थिंक उनके लिए भी एक चेरी ऑन द केक मोमेंट हो गया था वो। जिस तरह से और टीम को भी उस टाइम पे मतलब सख्त जरूरत थी कि भाई हाँ भाई गोल आ जाए कहीं ना कहीं से, और फाइनली सर ने डिलीवर कर दिया। तो परफेक्ट मोमेंट।
Shayan?
I would say actually this was in destiny. Actually, this goal was in destiny, and this had to happen, right? But nevertheless, actually, it's a good thing. It's a very good news which came through after the goal celebration. We came to know. Many of us were not aware of it, and I think Sunil Bhai has given so much to Indian football. I think very less people has offered so much, at least in the international career, support national team. I think Sunil Bhai will be remembered as one of the greatest players to play in Indian jersey, and I wish him all the best in his new journey as a father.
That I think I can add to that. Rahul, your thing when you saw that yesterday?
I think the goal also like makes the moment even more beautiful. Just the perfect goal, brings it down from his chest and then whacks it with his left foot. What a sweet volley and what a sweet way to bring up this momentous occasion for him. Again, probably he's moving into another chapter of his life. Probably, hopefully, he's got another year or two left in him to play for Indian football, and after that, he's got a nice little journey set up for him.
That's it. I think that's the nice part with Sunil, and then again Sunil. I think from all of us here, all the best to Sonam, to the child, and of course to you. I hope you're the child. I don't know when the child's going to be born. I hope it's not before the Asian Cup, so that he doesn't have sleepless nights because we still need him in the Asian Cup. And that brings me to the transfer question of the thing, because Bangalore FC. Sunil is going to play another season. How does BFC utilize him? I mean, because they're trying to bring in other players? Udanta is already out. Others are coming in. Hearing that Holichar Nazri, Rohit Danu have been signed by the club. Is there a chance that Sunil might get less time under Simon Grayson, which did happen also at some stages? Shiva Shakti got his chances. How do you guys see that at BFC?
आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से तो डेफिनेटली रोहित कृष्णा भी आई थिंक जा चुका है मोस्ट प्रोबेबली। तो आई थिंक कहीं ना कहीं एक और वो आई थिंक फॉरवर्ड में साइनिंग मेरे हिसाब से तो देख रहे हैं। नो डाउट सुनील सर एक्सटेंड करेंगे, लेकिन आई थिंक मोर ऑफ ए जो आई थिंक जो सेकंड पार्ट ऑफ द लास्ट सीजन में जो उनका रोल रहा था आई थिंक उसी तरह का रोल मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूँ कि इस सीजन भी उनको रहेगा कि मच एज यू कैन से सब्स्टिट्यूशन और इम्पैक्ट प्लेयर आके आई थिंक सैमन ग्रेसन ने, और वहीं पे आई थिंक बेंगलुरु का अगर आप लास्ट सीजन का जो अपवर्ड ग्राफ है वो वहीं से स्टार्ट हुआ था कि जब उन्होंने रोहित कृष्णा एंड शिवा शक्ति के साथ स्टार्ट किया, तभी वो वो दिखा। एंड आई थिंक सेकंड ये सीजन में भी वही आई थिंक करने की वो कोशिश करेंगे मेरे हिसाब से, तो कि सुनील सर को एज ए इम्पैक्ट प्लेयर यूज किया जाए। नो डाउट उनकी ज़रूरत वैसे तो रहेगी क्योंकि एक्सपीरियंस है और वो सारी चीज़ें, तो वो भी एक क्रूशियल रोल प्ले करते हैं बड़े मैचेस में, पर्टिकुलरली फाइनल हो गया, सेमीफाइनल हो गया, इस तरह के मैचेस में। तो मैं तो सिमिलर सा रोल ही एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा हूँ कि जो लास्ट सीजन था उसी तरह का, ताकि एक स्विफ्ट ट्रांजिशन भी हो जाए आपकी क्लब का, कि आप एक प्रॉपर तरीके से जो नए फॉरवर्ड आ रहा है और शिवा शक्ति को, दोनों को इनफ चांसेस दे दो, उनको भी इनफ मौका दे दो कि हाँ भाई जज करने का, हाँ भाई कि ये हमारे लिए फ्यूचर में किस तरह से हो सकती है या फिर हमें कोई और प्लेयर की जरूरत है। तो आई थिंक एक स्विफ्ट ट्रांजिशन की तरह वो आई थिंक इसको देखेंगे।
I don't know. I actually agree with Harry. But again, like I think there is a huge contingency factor here. If BFC do sign a number 9, then probably Sunil plays the role off the bench. But if they don't, we don't really have a traditional number 9 at the moment at BFC. Halichar Nazri will play out wide. Shiva Shakti again, like I think he's somebody who will enjoy a little more when he plays wide and he takes on defenders rather than playing in the middle. So if that is the case, then there is a role for Sunil Chetri in this BFC side, especially at least until they sign somebody, because he will be that number 9, and there is nobody else in this BFC side to fill those shoes. And until and unless BFC end up signing a proper number 9, it looks like Sunil will have a proper shot at starting in this BFC side.
I'll agree with Rahul and Harry that Sunil has got many things to offer to his club and his nation right now, and I think seeing his fitness level, I think many young players are still now far behind in that level, and the hunger, which is a differentiating factor, which differentiate him from other people. I think that hunger is always there, and I think he has, I think, one or two season more, I think, he can give to BFC, and BFC already they are without Roy Krishna, as Harry said right now, and I think they would need him. Shiva Shakti is a good player. I'm not saying that he's not good enough, but you need to see one more season before we come to any conclusion.
Any foreigners, any foreign strikers that you guys have heard being linked with BFC? I've not heard any foreign striker links, at least. In the last few seasons, they've always been sort of the links with BFC with foreign strikers, but so far, I at least have not heard anything. You guys?
No.
No foreign strikers till now. What I've heard till now. No foreign strikers. I think
Rahul,
Harry and Rahul can say.
Rahul,
I think
any chatters? Sorry, Harry first and then Rahul amongst the fans.
नहीं फॉरवर्ड्स में तो नहीं, लेकिन आई थिंक डिफेंस में उन्होंने मतलब जो अपने जो सिस्कोविच का आई थिंक उसको कंटिन्यू किया है, और उसके साथ एक दामियानोविच का न्यूज आ रहा था, तो आई थिंक 2 फॉरेन सेंटर बैक के साथ वो जाते हुए दिख रहे हैं यहाँ पे, क्योंकि संदेश जिंगान भी गए, तो एक क्रूशल एक एक्सपीरियंस आपका सेंटर बैक गया है, तो आई थिंक उसी का रिप्लेसमेंट उन्होंने एक एक्सपीरियंस के साथ किया। इसीलिए आई थिंक फॉरवर्ड में उन्होंने 2 इंडियन का साइनिंग मेरे को इसीलिए लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं वो फॉरवर्ड्स में मतलब इंडियन प्लेयर्स को ज्यादा रखना चाहते हैं। रोहित दानू, होलीचरण नाजरी एंड मे बी वन ऑफ, एंड आई थिंक एक उन्होंने ये मैं आई लीग की टीम का नाम भूल गया, मणिपुर की, उनसे एक विंगर साइन किया है, नाम बोल रहा हूँ उसका।
I know who you mean.
He is a good season. This season he played well. I think हाँ, तो ये देखिए ऑलमोस्ट सारे ही, मतलब आप देखिए फॉरवर्ड लाइन में तो वही है, और एक जावी हर्नांडिस तो ऑब्वियसली आपका क्रिएटर है ही। I think उसी के साथ हो जाना चाहेंगे।
That's nice. That's very, very nice. And Rahul, amongst the fans, any chatters regarding the striking position? I mean, Jovanovic was just mentioned. Jovanovic was a couple of days on social media announced that he has been extended, and Damjanovic, who has been talked a lot about in Kolkata, as Cheyenne knows, and was also linked to the Blasters, now seems to be heading to BFC.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the forwards are concerned, I haven't really heard much, but again, I think Alex Jovanovic, big, very important signing, because Alan Costa's left, Sandesh Jingan's left, so we need to fill in those center back spots. And if Grayson wants to play with a 3 at the back, then you not only need somebody like a Jovanovic, you also need to go and get somebody like a Damjanovic who will fill those 3 center back positions, and then you can play Parag as a 3rd center back, and then you have the wing backs obviously in Bhutia and Roshan. But yeah, I think it's important for BFC to go out and sign another centre back. Looks like it will be Damjanovic. And then you have two foreigners done there. You have Harvey, and there's spot for one more, which I'm hoping is that central striker, because you see most of the areas in the pitch are covered. You have Rohit and Suresh, and then you have the white players already at BFC. So we're hoping that the last foreigner will be the central striker.
But you've got the option of six, so I guess they'll be also signing most probably a number six, someone coming in from abroad. And then of course the question is, are you bringing maybe one striker, maybe two strikers, maybe another creative midfielder? So BFC have a little to play around with. So there's an option. That's BFC sort of for today. Big announcement from Mohun Bagan Super Giant without an S. I'm learning that because some people are still saying Giants. Juan Fernando formally officially extended. I just read the text that has been put out on Twitter by the club. First of all, Mr. Goenka says we're very happy to extend the contract with Juan Fernando. Juan led us to winning the Hero ISL trophy, and we look forward to winning more trophies with him. While Juan Fernando thereafter said, I'm really happy to continue my work with Mohun Bagan. I'm grateful to Dr. Sanjeev Goenka on entrusting me with this responsibility again. With my staff, I assure you all, coming season, we will not relax because we are defending champions. The philosophy of Mohun Bagan Super Giant is to improve next year. Every year, we will build an even stronger team and be ready to challenge the championship again. Also, we want to do well in AFC Cup and go further this year round. We will assemble Kolkata on 15th July and start our preparations for upcoming season. That's also an interesting piece of news. 15th of July, gathering, Mohun Bagan. I'd heard about 25th or 26th of July starts the Durand Cup.
Durand Cup is rescheduled to 3rd August. 3rd August.
3rd August. Okay, so
3rd
thanks, Harry, for that update. And Manipur, of course, is also out of hosting. Kokrajhar has been put in Assam as a new alternative venue. Will be interesting to see how Kokrajhar can host a whole group of matches. But still, 2-3 weeks pre-season in Kolkata in the monsoons. Shayan, little short, little tough.
No, I was expecting this. Yesterday, I was saying this in my show also that they were planning somewhere in the first week of July, but I think 1 week lesser time. I think they need to regroup. I think Indian players also will part of this camp. I think many of the Mohun Bagan players are with the national team. They will be also busy till 5th of July, and I think they would. I think they want some time with their family because they have been with the national camp for a long time right now, and I think club took a decision with the consent of the coach and the present Indian player and the foreigners how they would assemble. What I'm hearing is that 15th is the date they are starting. And another thing which I want to say that Mohun Bagan is supposedly to play a game in AFC Cup in the first week of August.
8 August. 8 August is the first match.
Yes.
Qualification match.
So you're right in some ways that preparation time in Kolkata means monsoon time here, and half of the times the field where Mohun Bagan practices in their home ground, that becomes a different story altogether. So time would be less, but they have very seasoned player in the team, and they're making a very very strong team. There are many players who are supposedly to join the club. Many players who are in the cover right now, whose name will be told after some time. But I think they are up to it. I think they would have a proper plan. I think by 17-18 days they would be in a better shape. I remember East Bengal starting last year at 11th of August, 4th of August, and when we played the first game on 11th of August. So this happens, but they need some time.
Yes, there's a comment, Rahul, before you come in that Shourabh Modak is saying that Mohun Bagan will play Durand Cup and CFL with the RFDL team, which means their reserve team. So that's going to be would be interesting to see, because again, I think there's the comment on YouTube. The question that comes to me, guys, is the matches in the Durand Cup count towards the number of matches a club plays across the season to qualify in regard to Asian competitions. So the question then arises is if Mohun Bagan Super Giant then say, listen guys, we're focusing on the AFC Cup, which is the right thing to do, which will run in parallel to the Durand Cup. Does it undermine sort of the Indian football season? I mean, that was also asked in a different way of Mumbai City when they played an all-Indian squad in the Super Cup. Does that sort of come in as a factor that again Juan Fernando is looking at of course especially the ISL but also at the Asian competition?
आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से तो आई थिंक इस बार ज़्यादा फोकस जो जिस तरह की उनकी साइनिंग जिस तरह की स्ट्रेटेजी लग रही है, आई थिंक मोहन बगान और जैसे आपने पहले बताया कि भाई 1 ईयर का उनको एक्सटेंशन मिला है। आई थिंक जॉन फर्नांडो के इस सीजन आई थिंक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी मेरे हिसाब से ज़्यादा बढ़ गई है। आई थिंक उसके ऊपर क्योंकि लास्ट सीजन मतलब नो डाउट मोहन बगान फैंस ने तो एक्सपेक्ट किया ही होगा कि हमारी टीम ऐसे जीत सकती है, लेकिन उतना ज़्यादा अगर आप टीम वाइज देखें तो बाकी सबका अगर आप देखेंगे ओपिनियन तो उतना ज़्यादा नहीं था। लेकिन इस बार जिस तरह की उनकी साइनिंग्स लिंकअप हो रही है और जिस तरह का वो प्लेयर टारगेट कर रहे हैं, आई थिंक दे आर प्लानिंग फॉर दैट एएफसी कप, बिकॉज लास्ट 2-3 आप देखिए जो जो उन्होंने आउटिंग्स किए हैं एफसी कप में, वहाँ पे कन्विंसिंग वो नहीं दिखे। मतलब जो हम एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि हमारे जो भी कोई भी क्लब इंडिया से एएफसी कप में रिप्रेजेंट करे, तो वो एक क्योंकि बीएफसी ने वो स्टैंडर्ड सेट कर दिया है कि भाई इंडियन क्लब कैन प्ले एएफसी कप फाइनल। मतलब वो फाइनल में पहुंच के तो सभी फैंस की जो एक्सपेक्टेशन है वो उसी के अराउंड घूमती है कि हाँ भाई एटलीस्ट हमें सेमीफाइनल फाइनल तक जाना चाहिए। तो और इस बार ही आई थिंक ये जो लास्ट सीजन है एएफसी का, इसमें ही चांस रहेगा क्योंकि नेक्स्ट सीजन से फॉर्मेट चेंज हो रहा है। आपकी एएफसी चैंपियंस लीग की टीम आपकी एएफसी कप में आएगी, तो नेक्स्ट सीजन से एएफसी कप भी टफ हो जाएगा कंपेरेटिव टू अगर आप इस सीजन का फॉर्मेट देखें। तो आई थिंक जो प्लानिंग जिस तरह की दिख रही है अभी मोहन बगान की, आई थिंक इट्स ऑल डायरेक्टिंग टुवर्ड्स द फोकस इज ऑन एएफसी कप. First priority should be given to AFC Cup, then I think ISL season, and then this rest of the tournament of Hero Super Cup या फिर Durand Cup.
I think it's very interesting because for me, at least personally, I always say it's the coach's decision. If he feels that he wants to try something out in a cup competition, that's fair enough because there are most times there is one league that takes precedence over the others. And in India, it's the ISL, and then like your Asian competitions, if you're taking part in them, similar to the European scene where you see a lot of coaches doing the same thing. So I think it's about what coaches want to do, and we have to respect that. Another, Shayan and Harry, just one more question, which is similar to this. Utkarsh asks, any update on the Super Cup running parallel to the ISL? What would it look like? What challenges would that bring if it happened?
I would say that Super Cup running parallel to ISL, it is said by Kalyan Chobe, our All India Football Federation president, and he's planning this in that way. Challenges would be there because you will have then ISL season will go more further. So I think ISL this season was for 6 months. I think if we have Super Cup games in between, this would again grow more. Then we have the AFC Asian Cup this season. So the season would be on a longer stretch, 8-9. There would be many cases. There would be players will have some injuries. So team with better reserve bench would have the better upper hand in these cases. When the leagues are shorter, what happens is that with limited resource also you can pull up a result. When the league gets bigger, your bench strength is also under scanner, and that is the time the team, a good team and a average team gets differentiated. So a longer season would mean that the team in the with a poor bench strength will have this problem. Will have this problem in playing parallelly both the leagues. And what will happen in the longer season, they will not have the bench strength. If for example for a East Bengal or for a Northeast star player gets injured, they would have this problem to getting another player in that time because they don't have much of option. So that would be where Mumbai City FC and Mohun Bagan would be more sorted, or Bengaluru FC would be more sorted in that case. So that would be one reason.
Just one point add to that Kalyan Chobe already we clarified that from next season our target has to be before at the end of the April we complete the season, because already हमने इस season देखा है कि the hot and humid temperature और weather के चलते हुए काफी ज्यादा AFF को और उन सबको यहाँ पे criticism मिला था। तो उन्होंने ये तो क्लियर कर दिया है कि नेक्स्ट सीजन से हम ट्राई कर रहे हैं कि एट द एंड ऑफ द अप्रैल देयर शुड बी इंडियन सीजन ऑफ फुटबॉल फॉर बोथ मेंस एंड वुमेन्स, दोनों के लिए वो एंड करना चाहते हैं। तो कहीं ना कहीं वो भी क्लियर इंडिकेशन है कि भाई आप हीरो सुपर कप साथ में कराने का देख रहे हो, क्योंकि बीच में एफसी एशियन कप भी है, तो आपका 1.5 to 2 months are occupied by that also. So I think planning I think smart करनी पड़ेगी क्योंकि 3 ISL clubs are playing in the AFC competition. तो उनके मैचेस कैसे शेड्यूल करने एंड उस तरह से तो आई थिंक प्लानिंग और क्योंकि हर साल हीरो सुपर कप एक एक लोकेशन पे आप करते थे तो अब आप किस तरह से वो प्लानिंग करते हो वो भी आई थिंक इंटरेस्टिंग रहेगा आई थिंक मोस्ट प्रोबेबली जुलाई में आई थिंक सारा क्लियर हो जाएगा क्योंकि आज ही जो हमारे सेक्रेटरी है उन्होंने बोला है कि जुलाई में हम आई लीग का भी शेड्यूल देना चाहते हैं ताकि क्लब्स को और ज्यादा टाइम मिले कि यहाँ पे किस तरह से प्लानिंग करना है पूरा सीजन का तो आई थिंक मोस्ट प्रोबेबली जुलाई में सारी चीजें क्लियर हो जाएगी कि भाई हीरो सुपर कप कहाँ पे वो प्लान करने का सोच रहे हैं
I think when we come to that point, I think it's a very challenging one because the 23-24 season with the Asian Cup, with so much of exposure also to the national team, which is outside of FIFA windows. These are extended tournaments which are going to play in Merdeka and Kings Cup. We've got the FIFA qualifiers starting in November. That puts a lot of pressure on planning and scheduling of the season. Now, the Super Cup, I feel, if you see how, for example, clubs in England play the League Cup, it might be something that the bigger teams might say, listen, you know what, I might play a second 11 in that competition because it might be a midweek fixture. So therefore, I'm interested to see how they schedule it, how they organize it, how they run it, how many teams are involved, how many rounds are involved. Have you got 3? Have you got 4? Have you got 5 rounds to play for the teams? So that's one. And and again, the bids for the I League, of course, some of you who've been around know that it has been regarding a franchise from Delhi under JSW. Gurgaon has been under Bunker Hill, a former investor of Mohammedan. Shan, can we say former investor or still investor of Mohammedan Sporting? I think that's the status. Kya hai? Former ho gaya? Former. Okay, former who want to try and bid for a team from Bangalore. From Gurgaon. FC Bangalore United are from Bangalore. They're the other one. There's a team from Kolkata. Shayan, any news? Is it Diamond Harbour FC? That's a question that's been asked. If they are the one bidding for an I League, or is it Mohammedan Sporting? Mohammedan Sporting is already in there.
No, I don't have any idea, but I'll check and I'll answer this because I don't know who is the.
So there's
there is a YMS Finance Private Limited. It's the company which bidded from Kolkata. YMS Finance Private Limited.
Okay. New to me, Shayan. I don't know. I've not heard about them. You?
Yes. He's told the correct company's name, but I don't know that which club they are looking for. I need to check. I think I can take it tomorrow. Then who's the club?
All right. Okay. So watch Shayan's channels tomorrow, Indian Food and Football, and he'll break that news. So that's one. That is that. So the I League is covered. We go back to Mohun Bagan Super Giant, who have been also trying to create a buzz on the market when it comes to transfers, but they've not gotten their sort of 2 key priced transfers over the line. They've tried to get Akash Mishra on one side, or the other side now Anirudh Thapa, like last season again. A big fight against their nemesis, I would say now in the market, which is Mumbai City. Where do you see Akash and Anirudh Thapa going? What are your sources telling you? Where do we stand with this transfer, guys?
सैन सर पहले आप बताओ आपका फेवरेट क्लब का बात हो रहा है सर
मेरा फेवरेट क्लब नहीं आप बताओ यू स्टार्ट
आपको ज्यादा पता नहीं दुश्मन की बात ज्यादा पता रहती है उसके ऊपर नजर रहती है कि क्या कर रहा है
See, if you ask me, Akash Mishra was supposedly to go to Mohun Bagan, but something changed in between because till now he has not signed with any club. What I know, till now he has not signed with any club, but he's mostly to sign with a club which all we know right now, which is Mumbai. But I think Thapa's coming to Mohun Bagan. I think it was due from last season. I think this would happen, and I think. If this doesn't happen, means it will means that Thapa is done not this time to play in Mohun Bagan.
but I'll counter this. From Mumbai City perspective because they've announced that Raulin Borges goes on loan for a year to FC Goa,
AFC
doesn't
Goa.
that mean that they already have someone in the back to
Back,
announce in the coming days? And isn't that then Anurag Thapa that Mumbai City will announce?
maybe. I think
maybe.
that should be the case. Also, there is a one indication. आपने पूछा तो sources, तो सबसे बड़े sources अगर आप ट्विटर पे देखें तो मोहन बगान के जितने भी फैन पेज है वो अब सुभाशिष बोस को आकाश मिश्रा से अच्छा लेफ्ट बैक बताने लगे, तो इसका क्लियर इंडिकेशन है कि दैट मींस कि आकाश मिश्रा इज गोइंग टू मुंबई सिटी. तो there's there. And I think अनिरुद्ध थापा का जितना सिंपल आई थिंक जो लग रहा है, I don't think so कि it's a simple transfer. I think more complicated than I think आकाश मिश्रा मेरे हिसाब से, because there is a very
I
good
agree.
relationship with Chennai FC owners,
Mhm.
and still he is under contract, so it is going to be a tough task to break that deal मेरे हिसाब से. So let's
Correct,
see. I
correct.
think and still I think अनिरुद्ध थापा is with currently with Indian team, तो I don't think so कि उसने कुछ एग्री वेग्री कर लिया है, जो मेरे को
नहीं
तो
अभी
नहीं.
तक कुछ हुआ मतलब
हाँ,
they are saying they are close to sign, but that doesn't mean
हाँ,
they are going to sign, because ये तो आकाश मिश्रा के टाइम भी हुआ था ना, that people were thinking that this will happen, but somehow Mumbai City FC came in the market and and we discussed many things that
No,
they
See, Shayan, that is the perception that was there in Kolkata, right? I think Mumbai City has been in the market for quite a while
market
for Akash Mishra. So therefore, that is a point that needs to be corrected. I think that and I said that, I remember I said that on your channel, and a lot of people told me, how can you say that? And I said, like, guys, my infos are that that there is the possibility of Akash going to Mumbai. And again, it's not a first conversation this year. There was a conversation last year about this potential transfer. So it's an interesting scenario at the moment. Akash Mishra still hanging in the balance. I think lots of us, not only us, but those of you guys who are watching as well have been expecting that this transfer would go through before the end of May. But the saga is still on, and it's a question of bidding in regard to what are you offering in finance. Mumbai City has put the Vignesh into the mix of offering Vignesh as an additional player. So would be interesting to see. And that's the question that there is. And on Thapa, I think Thapa is an interesting one, because last year Mohun Bagan thought they had him over the line. But in the end it didn't happen, not only for the player but also for the club. Chennai did not want to release the player. And interestingly, I'm also hearing that Owen Coyle could be returning to Chennai. And what factor would be Owen Coyle in trying to convince Thapa to actually stay with Chennai, because he has a contract for another 2 years?
Yes. He has a contract. And that would play a major role if he comes. Model is what I am hearing, that Owen Coyle is supposedly coming. So if that holds true, I think again it will become tougher. Then it doesn't look so easy. What we are seeing that to be easy, but it will be not so easy. Mohun Bagan needs to get things clear, because last time also I still remember one of the top Mohun Bagan officials said me that this is going to happen, but this didn't happen. So you never know. In transfer market, anything changes in a single minute, and it's very, very difficult to predict. And on that basis, we can say. So let's see.
But I think no doubt Owen Coyle is coming, but I think अनिरुद्ध थापा को इस बार थोड़ा सा कन्विंस करने में चेन्नई एफसी को दिक्कत भी आ सकती है, क्योंकि they are going with all out, you can say, revamp in terms of the foreign players. 6 new foreign players are coming. Also their Indian players, Vanspaul is already leaving. आकाश सांगवान का भी rumor आ रहा है कि he might also leave, and अनिरुद्ध थापा भी. तो I think इस बार थोड़ा सा अगर आप in terms of the sporting project वाइज बोलेंगे कि भाई कन्विंस करना, तो थोड़ा सा I think अनसेटल अभी दिख रही है चेन्नई एफसी कि उतना ज्यादा उनकी स्क्वाड नहीं है. पूरा स्क्वाड आई थिंक रीबिल्ड टाइप सही है. तो आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाई अनिरुद्ध थापा इज लुकिंग फॉर दैट मूव, या तो मोहन बगान या तो मुंबई सिटी की, जहाँ पे सेटल पूरा प्रोजेक्ट है और आपको सिर्फ वो फिट होना है.
I see on Arun Foot YouTube, Abhishek has written that Anirudh Thapa signed and joined Mohun Bagan on a 5-year deal, according to Extra Time Bangla. Abhishek, from my side, and others asked as well what the status is. So from my side, an understanding is no contract has been signed. So that's what I am hearing. But again, and therefore, if the colleagues at Extra Time Bangla have that information, again, we remember the whole Sergio Lovera incidents that at East Bengal that was told by the Kolkata media as being done, and it wasn't. So therefore, it will be interesting to see. And another player that I'm surprised nobody is talking about, who impressed me at Chennai, Jiteshwar. I thought
Yes,
he had a good season.
good season.
No takers so far. I'm surprised that name is not being tossed around for one of the bigger teams in the ISL.
I think for me, whatever I've seen of him, I'm actually on the other side. I think I'm not very convinced with him yet. I've been a little unsure. Whenever I've seen him, he's played a decent amount, and whenever I've seen him play, he just looks he looks good. Like he looks like that. He's short. He's got that low center of gravity. He can keep the ball close. But I've seen a few loose touches, and I've seen him give away the ball a few times. And I think there's a little more time, and then probably one of the big clubs will come calling for him.
I think there is a one comment that Jiteshwar contract extended by Chennai.
Yeah, that's been extended, but again, it might be something of an opportunity for the club to make money, right? I mean, so that's the question: is does it make sense for Chennai to think about again? Would you keep Jiteshwar or would you keep Thapa? That's a question that they would have. And we had it last week when Sandeep Menon was one of our guests. That Sandeep said that he would love Thapa to stay at Chennai and sort of build a legacy, sort of as some of the other players have, and that's an interesting one as well. But again, I want to head back to Mohan Bagan, because people have been asking also about Ishan Pandita, who's currently injured, as we got to know. That's why he's not part at the moment. So Ishan Pandita, is he closer to signing for Mohan Bagan, or might he be staying in Jamshedpur? What I've also heard that is an option as well at the moment.
मेरे हिसाब से तो वो स्ट्रेंज साइनिंग मेरे को लग रही है कि मोहन बगान में मतलब आई नो कि मतलब दे आर प्लेइंग इन ऑल द कंपटीशन, बट स्टिल ईशान पंडिता वेयर विल ही गेट चांसेस? You already have a Dimitri Petratos and you are going for Jason Cummings, so where does Ishan Pandita fit? That might be the big question. I think उससे तो अच्छा आई थिंक जमशेदपुर में ही रुक जाए. आई थिंक माइट बी न्यू कोच विल गिव हिम सम चांसेस.
Yeah, and I've heard that they're considering as a potential replacement for Manveer Singh. That does not add up, right? So that is something. Why would I mean, Manveer, of course, has had quite a bit of injuries over the last season, but I thought Manveer is one of the players who's done actually quite well for himself in that wide position, not only for club but also whenever given chance also for country, right? Or what do you guys think?
I'm 100% in agreement. Like, I think Manveer, whenever I've seen him play, he's looked really good, and I think he's one of the better players actually at Mohan Bagan. There's no doubt that he starts over Ishan Pandita.
Correct.
I think another yes Sandbhai continue.
नहीं बोलो हिरन बोलो फिर.
मैं ये बोल रहा था कि अनदर यू कैन से कि आप स्ट्राइकर को विंगर में फिर कन्वर्ट कर रहे हो. आई थिंक वी ऑलरेडी सी मेनी स्ट्राइकर आर कन्वर्टेड इन विंगर्स, पर्टिकुलरली इंडियन प्लेयर्स अगर आप देखें तो. एंड मनवीर का आप देखिए जो सेमीफाइनल में और उनमें जो परफॉर्मेंस था, आई थिंक वेरी इम्पैक्टफुल परफॉर्मेंस. तो आई थिंक कोई सेंस नहीं बना था कि आप ईशान पंडिता को, मतलब अगर उसकी जगह पे चलो मान ले कि कोई आप आउट एंड आउट कोई विंगर के लिए जा रहे तो फिर भी समझ में आता है कि हाँ भाई जा रहे हो. आप एक स्ट्राइकर के लिए जा रहे हो. ईशान पंडिता मतलब जितना उन्होंने खेला है, आई डोंट थिंक सो कि ही कैन बी दैट इम्पैक्टफुल ऑन विंग्स जो आई थिंक खेला है. तो आई थिंक कोई उस मूव में सेंस नहीं बनता. और आई थिंक ईशान पंडिता का जब से मतलब आपका इंडियन सीजन खत्म हुआ है, उसके आई थिंक फर्स्ट वीक से ही वो र्यूमर आना चालू हो गया था कि ईशान पंडिता टू ईस्ट बंगाल या मोहन बगान, ये दो ही क्लब आ रहे थे. फिर अब ईस्ट बंगाल का निकल चुका है और अब मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम लिंक्ड अप विथ मोहन बगान. तो लेट्स सी. लेकिन आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से ईशान पंडिता के करियर के भी अगर ग्रोथ पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखे तो आई डोंट सी दैट इज अ राइट मूव. नो डाउट बिग क्लब एंड एवरीथिंग इज वेरी गुड, बट आई थिंक व्हाट ही नीड्स, एंड उसने खुद ने अभी नेशनल टीम के जब कैंप में वो था तब इंटरव्यू दिया, तब उसने बोला है कि आई वांट टू प्रूव माई सेल्फ विथ द गेम टाइम्स, एंड गेम टाइम आई डोंट सी इन मोहन बगान. मतलब I think already they have enough, you can say, forward players. Uh, so let's see.
Regarding
Um,
Yeah, Stan,
rega-
please go ahead.
regarding
yeah,
regarding Ishan Pandita, what I've heard that he was Bagan is in the race. Bagan is in full form in the race, and there's another club which is linked with him is Kerala Blasters. I think that could be an option, but most certainly he's leaving Jamshedpur FC. What I know, he's leaving Jamshedpur FC. There is no way that he's staying back with Jamshedpur. I think he's looking out for other options. I think, as Harry correctly said, the game time is very, very much needed. We have seen previously also many strikers falling apart due to lack of game time. So it's again Isan's call. Let him discuss. But I don't think that he would go to come to East Bengal. That one of the people are asking, is he coming to East Bengal? I don't see him coming to East Bengal. But there are other clubs. I think like Hydra, they like. Kerala Blasters. Even I've heard that BFC was also somewhat interested in him. So never get surprised with that also. So Rahul would be happy to hear that. But then Mohan Bagan is. I think his journey will be within these three clubs. What I know.
Continuing with the Mohun Bagan discussions, the wild one of last week, the potential swap deal, Pritam Kotal and Holmi Pam. Yeah, Kumar asking the question. That came totally out of blue, even though last week I discussed it and said that with Anwar Ali signing for Mohun Bagan, you have Ashish Rai. What do you do with your captain? Right.
Captain,
So,
exactly.
and the same question arises also Akash Mishra, Shubhashish Bose. What happens there? Um, would it make sense if Kerala Blasters is offering you Hormipam plus money for Mohun Bagan to sell Pritam Kotal, who was a very, very influential player in the team winning the ISL crown in the end? What do you guys think?
I think in short term अगर आप देखें तो it will be a beneficial for you can say Kerala Blaster in terms of the quality player or experienced player Pritam Kotal they are getting, and Hormipam is no doubt a talent and potential is there, but I think he needs some experience. But in longer term, I think Mohan Bagan will be a beneficial because Hormipam has that talent and he proved in last season whenever he got the chances for Kerala Blaster. We have already seen that. So I think in that sense, and also in Mohan Bagan, I think he will be playing as a you can say third choice centre back role. I think most probably because Anwar Ali is also there, so I think they are on settle on that thing. So I think in short term, I think it will be a Kerala Blaster. I think also looking for that you can say experience Indian centre back. I think so. In that sense, I think is a good deal for Kerala Blaster in short term, but I think they are losing a potential young bright future Indian player.
The others chip in?
Rahul.
Pritam Kotal, I think again, if you're looking from a Kerala Blasters point of view, it only does them good because not only can he play at centre back, if you wish, you can push him out wide as well, like he did yesterday for the national team. So yeah, I think there are a few things you can do with Pritam Kotal. So it's always good to have players who can play in multiple positions. So as a club, you're losing out on nothing. You're getting a lot of experience. Somebody who goes in hard for tackles and can play in multiple positions. So I think it's a good win for Kerala Blasters.
Does it also help with the dressing room because you're losing Khabra, you're losing Nishu, you're losing Jessel, or you've
Yes.
lost Jessel to BFC? That Pritam Kotal might be that sort of leadership character that the Blasters dressing room might need. Might that be a reason for them to think about this?
Absolutely. I think again, like it's just somebody like him who'd go in strong hard for the first tackle that really everybody else in the team will look at that and say, you know what, okay, that's the captain. He's going for it if he does become captain when he does move there. Um it's somebody who's going in hard and he's up for it from the first minute. We need to up our game, and when you look at things like that, you automatically up your game, and that'll just this character and the way he goes into games is a huge plus for them.
Roshan has an interesting point, which he makes on Arnford, that Ruiva, which means Homipam, was named as the future of KBFC, and a few weeks later, the management potentially give him away for Pritam Kotal. So that's a very interesting one, which I thought is what I had the same thought. I thought, wow, you were saying that you're building on this player. He's one of the sort of cornerstones of your, but then the whole transfer reality sort of kicks in, and you realize, listen, there might be someone better to bring in. And again, the versatility of Pritham, of course, is an added factor because you've sold so many left and right backs that you left with very few of them. Um, is that sometimes that the reality of what you want to do, and the Blasters in the last few weeks have been really getting a lot of stick for what they've been saying and what they've been doing, right?
Right, right.
I think this is
So
exactly why, like, sorry, Shane, you were saying.
no, 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 you continue. Yeah, once you finish, I'll say.
No, this is what annoys me, like in football in general, when you look at the short term and not the long term prospect. This is exactly why I said I'm happy with Suresh and Rohit in midfield for BFC for a few years. It's it's because as a club, I feel the best way to look at it is long term. Produce players, build players. These guys are going to potentially play for the national team. So you're not only giving to your club, but you're also giving to the national side, and it's very important. Yeah, yeah, Shan.
Correct. Actually, this is very, very important that you are getting. I think Mohan Bagan would be will have a better. I think Mohan Bagan is making a better deal by getting in Honmi Pump because he has a future, and the player. I think he has a lot to offer, and as Rahul correctly said that he's one of the players who will be by 1 or 2 years by the time he will be playing in the national team. So Mohun Bagan would rather benefit for it, but as Arunavada already said that KBFC also needs leader because Hanumanjot Singh Khabra has already left. Then you have Giselle also has left. So they would be also looking for people. They've already got in Probir Das from BFC. They're trying to get in Preetham Kotal. So they are wanting to make a team where few experienced players are needed, and it's up to them. But I would say that keeping in Honmipam would have been, I think, a better option for Kerala Blasters, if you ask me
But then,
personally,
but
because
then another point, Shan, you just mentioned that for Mohun Bagan, a wise move for Hormipam to potentially go there. But shouldn't Sumit Rathi be a warning for a young, talented Indian defender that if you go to Mohun Bagan and you've got bigger names over there, that it might be a problem for you to get an opportunity to play there? You've got Anwar Ali, who's seen more than Hormipam as the future of India as a centre back. You will most likely, and the question was asked if Mohun Bagan would risk to play with an all Indian backline. I doubt that. You're going to bring in at least one, if not two, foreign centre backs. So that means it leaves one spot. So does it for Hormipam, who's been a regular, surprise regular, but a quality regular for KBFC? Might that be a bad move for him potentially, or is it a sort of a fight with Anwar for that position?
uh, in future, I think there will be a fight for with Anwar also. I would say because this guy has quality, and a player who has quality would prove himself. Right now, Mohun Bagan has got only one foreigner defender, which is Brendan Hamill. And if you see Unavoda this season, I think it will be very, very difficult. I think we need to play many games. Like there will be many games in the weekdays also. For the if you see the Super Cup model, if they go in that way, they need to play more games in a limited time period. As Harry was saying that Kolan Chobe has said the league needs to be completed by 31st March. Oh, then again you have to play more matches in the 6 months. That then what happens? Your bench will get a
It
chance
doesn't
to play
work.
more.
Sorry, I mean it's been said, right,
Oh,
that the
policy.
season
That
that the season needs to be ending by the end of April. It will not work because your competitions are growing,
yes.
your matches are growing, your leagues are expanding. It will not work. You don't have the infrastructure
Well,
at the top level to do that. You just need to find
yes.
means and ways of trying to use floodlights. I think that is the money that needs to be raised by the AFF to enable that teams are able to play in April, May, because nowhere in the world will they say you're not going to be playing in May because the weather is too hot. It happens in the Middle East, it happens in Spain. In Sevilla you play at 40 degrees. Again, we are talking about Spain, we're talking about La Liga, a country which has been world champions. So the weather factor, and again, a lot of people might not like it, but the weather factor is a factor which is a reality. Again, even in Germany at the moment, it's 25-30 degrees. We played in it, but these 30 degrees feel like 40 degrees in India. You play in it, right? You give an added break, but then that, and we play also in the sunlight. So therefore, you will not be able to change the weather pattern of India. You have monsoons, you have winters, you've got this, you've got that. By saying that, and no disrespect to Kollan, but it to me it doesn't make any sense. because you can't throw a
Yes.
whole month away of football in saying that because of the heat and whatever's happened in Gujarat, we can't play. Then choose wisely. Where are you playing in the month of May? Can you go to
Correct.
some, hilly area? Can you go maybe to the
northern
northeast?
part.
Can you go to maybe the
Not just.
Bangalore side of things, where it happens, even though Bangalore now, I don't know if you saw it, heavy rains yesterday, which might affect the SAF Cup in the coming week. So these are all factors which are realities of India. So you have to work around it. And that's something which I feel. That's why, the Indian football season is not an easy one to sort out. But the question with the players is, um, again, I'm looking at also from an Indian national team perspective. Um, but on the other side, the clubs have to take care of themselves. So that's a very difficult one. Because again, Hormi Pam, yes, could say no, I won't make the transfer, but then I guess the Blasters, it makes sense to try and get Pritham. Um,
Mm.
it'll be interesting to see. But if by any chance Mohan Bagan are able to sign Hormi Pam and bring in also Akash Mishra and lose Pritam and lose Shubhashish, I have a feeling that the club does lose a little bit of connect with their fans, because those are two big Bengali names that the club still has at the moment.
While
Correct.
we're on this, guys, just one more question that Kumar brings up. Is there a possibility for Hormipam to go out on loan to, say, a club like Punjab FC once he does come into Mohun Bagan? Is that a possibility?
Could be
He
a
will be getting
possibility.
game.
Could be a
We have.
possibility, but again, Ranglas Punjab is themselves looking to sign quality players, potentially extend loan deals that they've had with Mumbai City. This is Ranglas is one of those teams which is quietly doing its homework in the background. So I think
Correct.
that's the one thing that last week we didn't speak about Jamshedpur FC. They have a similar thing that they're trying to work on their transfers, but they seem to be losing some of their players. I think they are also looking to rejig a few things after a poorer season, which looked better towards the end. So therefore, there are a few teams who are in that market.
Well, then I saw a comment way on top. Now I'm gonna have to go back to it, but it was on FC Goa, guys. What's happening with FC Goa? Obviously, Roland Ballers is coming on loan from Mumbai City FC. Shine, you're smiling. Any particular reasons? Roland Borges, what do you make of him?
Very good signing. I think FC Goa is a team. I think with not much of noise, they are making a good team, and they are brought in a very good coach. I'm expecting FC Goa to go to the last till the last lap this year, because Manolo Marcus has earned my respect. He's a very great, one of the best coaches to come in India in recent past, and the team they are making, I think. It's it's one of the best teams they are building, and they are planning something big. And people are not raking in FC Goa much, but I am saying that this team will go till the further distance, because this team has a very good quality. They've gotten already Sandesh with them. They've gotten, uh, as you said, Raul Borges also has come, because it's very important. See, foreign players are important, but you need also good quality Indian players to succeed in Indian Super League, because you see, give any team an example. For example, last year, if you see, Mohan Bagan was the champion for the league, uh, for the Cup, and the Shield was won by Mumbai City FC. They had plenty of Indian national team players. So it always says it is very, very important that, see, all the top three teams had Indian national team players in them, and people who were languishing in the bottom, they didn't have good national team players with playing with them. So this is the difference. We need to understand this, and FC Goa is doing a fantastic job, and I think I am expecting them. I think they have Ivan Dowling also. He's also he will be with them this time. Kerala Blaster tried, but deal didn't happen. So this FC Goa will be a team to look up to this season, I think, and I'm very happy with the way they are working.
Given the transfers, Arnava Harry, is it going to be a success for Manolo in his first season?
I think Manolo Marquez, definitely, I completely agree with Soin, but I think he is that one coach who also impressed me the most, particularly the recent past में देखे जिस तरह की उसकी थिंकिंग है, और जिस तरह की उसने मतलब पर्टिकुलर आप 3 सीजन आप हमने देखे, जिस तरह से उन्हें हैदराबाद एफसी के साथ जिस प्लेयरों के साथ उन्होंने काम किया है, और जिस तरह से उन्होंने रिजल्ट प्रोड्यूस किया, लगातार आप देखें कंसिस्टेंसी दिखी है। ऐसा नहीं है कि वन सीजन वंडर रहा है, और जिन प्लेयरों से काम निकलवाया है, पर्टिकुलरली आप देखिए हैदराबाद एफसी में फुल ऑफ यंग इंडियन प्लेयर्स, एंड उनके साथ उन्होंने हितेश शर्मा, रोहित दानू, इन सब के साथ उन्होंने जिस तरह से खेला है, और जिस आकाश मिश्रा, निखिल पुजारी, मतलब लॉट ऑफ यंग इंडियन प्लेयर्स हु डन ब्रिलियंट अंडर मनोलो मार्केस। तो डेफिनेटली एफसी गोवा भी सेम पाथवे पे जा रही है। और आई थिंक सही सैन भाई का असेसमेंट सही है कि भाई यू कैन फाइंड दैट फॉरेन प्लेयर्स बिकॉज यू हैव a lot more, you can say, bunch of players to scout from the foreign players। आपके पास ऑप्शन है काफी सारे कि आप इधर से स्काउट कर सकते हो, इस लीग से कर सकते हो। Indian quality players, you have a limited stock currently. In maybe in 4 5 years, you have a lot more players because there is a lot of grassroots development and the grassroots players are coming in. But currently, there is a limited Indian players, and that's why I think the strategy from all the ISL clubs, not only from FC Goa, is that in start of the when the first season when the season is over, all the I think most of the ISL clubs are go for the top Indian players. Ki whichever way we have to secure their signing first, and then after we can look for the foreign players or other players, because these players are not, you can say, market in market for longer time, because every club are trying for the quality Indian players। and बाकी जो foreign players है वो तो आप यूरोप की मार्केट से अभी स्काउट करके, क्योंकि अभी वहाँ पे अभी ट्रांसफर विंडो ओपन हुआ है, तो लॉट ऑफ ऐसे क्लब्स आर वेटिंग फॉर दैट ऑल्सो कि भाई यूरोप से लेके आएंगे अगर जब ट्रांसफर विंडो स्टार्ट होती है। तो आई थिंक एफसी गोवा इज लुकिंग प्रॉमिसिंग, एंड आई थिंक the playing style of FC Goa is also a very very attractive playing style। I think one of the most attacking playing side in the ISL, and most goals scored by the score in the ISL also। So I think it is going to be interesting how Manolo Marquez is going to play with this squad, and is there any big, you can say, foreign signing is coming in, वो देखना इंटरेस्टिंग सा रहेगा थोड़ा सा।
And we will wait and watch. Shannon will quickly and swiftly move to East Bengal, talking about important Indian players and their and how much they contribute to the success of a side. Nanda has been looking good. He looked good when he played for the national side recently, and he's had a good season for Odisha. What are you expecting from him? They won. Yes, East Bengal have announced his signing. What is it looking like?
Just add to the Rahul that question, Sensor, do you think that if Nanda Kumar deal is not, you can say, break in the January, आपने वो डील वहां पे जनवरी में क्रैक नहीं की होती, अगर वेट किया होता समर का, तो डू यू थिंक यू कैन एबल टू कन्विंस नंदा कुमार टू ईस्ट बंगाल? because after the Super Cup win, do you expect that Nanda Kumar will come to East Bengal?
I'll answer Rahul first. Rahul का क्वेश्चन का पार्ट मैं पहले बता देता हूँ. Rahul, see, it's very what I've always said, that it's very very important that we get in good national team players. East Bengal, as you rightly said, we are getting in. We have gotten this time Nanda Kumar. We have a Nauda Mahesh Singh. I think this was after what I was seeing. This was after 7 8 years in a national team where we see two East Bengal players playing together in the playing 11. That was after a long time, because after the ISL era started, and people from East Bengal, previously what we used to see, that 10 11 8 11 out of 5 or 6 players are played from East Bengal from the national team, but gone are those days, and now we have only 2 players, and that also after a gap of a long 7 8 years. So I got really impressed by Nanda Kumar, and now especially about Mahesh. Mahesh, I think, played one of the best games yesterday, and Nanda also was chipping in with his efforts. But again, Rahul, problem with East Bengal is that we need to get in players where we need them most. So if you see East Bengal as a team, uh, we have a problem in our goalkeeping position. If you see the last season, Kamaljeet Singh was not able to play up to the potential what was expected out of a number one goalkeeper, right? So that was a problem. So where are we in those transfers? Like Gill's transfer will be one of the most determining factors of this season to East Bengal. If they are able to get Prabhsuk and Gill from Kerala Blasters and agree to their transfer fee, I think they are right now that deal got stuck due to the transfer fee, because Kerala Blasters are also looking for options. See, they're also here to make money, so we can't say that what is wrong, what is right. They are here to make the money. So this is a problem East Bengal is having. Then we need a good center back. not only foreign centre back, we need a good Indian centre back. So we don't have that. Lal is a good player. I am not saying Lal is a bad player, but if you want to see your team to be in the top 3 or top 4, you need to be realistic in assessing the problems which your team currently has. We have good Nanda Kumar, I agree. We have now Manohar Mahesh Singh, but we need good players in the back, because your back is the backbone of your team. Your back line needs to get sorted. You have left Jerry, I understand. You are getting Manda Rao, Desai, Ishu Kumar. Uh, I think it will be very, very interesting to see them play, how they play in Kolkata after a long. I think Mandar and Ishu will be coming here. Khabra has already played. So Khabra last season has played only 7 games. So East Bengal as a team, uh, t- uh, I'm convinced that they can go till top 6. What I believe, top 6, I think, is a minimum benchmark I think we should have. What I believe in, but it will be not so easy. See, you have to see it may be a club which is very close to me, but facts remain is that other teams are also working quite well. If you see outside Kolkata, people are working like a team like FC Goa, which we just announced, we're discussing right now. So teams are working much better than us, much faster than us. We need to get faster. That I always say. And coming back to Harry's question with what Hiren said, हिरेन भाई एक प्लेयर तो हम लोग को मिला है, वो भी आप बोल रहे हो जनवरी का अगर नहीं होता वो भी अगर आप ले लोगे तो क्या रहेगा मेरे पास, ठीक है. So अच्छा, we got a Nanda Kumar. I think many of the people did expect
great
this.
signing. Great signing.
It's a very good signing. National team players. East Bengal is getting good foreign players, which I'm what I've seen. East Bengal is doing pretty good foreign signings. But again, I would say Indian national team players will be one of the determining factor for East Bengal success. You need to get a Gill. You need to get good players in the centre back position from I League. I think there are many good talents which we need to work hard and go get those players. We need to have those eyes to select players and get them to play for your club. So I'm a bit hopeful. From last season, I think East Bengal will be in a better shape this time. This is my least expectation I'm having.
And Shine can have that expectation. I think a lot of red and gold fans are hoping for that. But again, I think Shine has mentioned the two key positions, I think, where East Bengal still is lacking quite a bit, and that is goalkeeper. Can they somehow get Prabhasukan Gill from the Blasters? And I think maybe Prabhasukan Gill is linked in some sort of way also with the whole Pritam Kotal thing, is maybe East Bengal indirectly financing Pritam Kotal to go to Kerala Blasters, that way. That is one. And on the other side, the centre back situation. And I think that will be a deciding factor for East Bengal club, because or East Bengal FC as the entity is now known in the ISL, because I think your attacking positions look decent, look good, but your defensive positions look non-existent at the moment. And I think that should be the concern of East Bengal club and its fans. They're not only the right goalkeeper, foreign, Indian centre back, defensive midfielder. These are the positions that East Bengal needs to field, and I think there are not too many options. So therefore, I think that's the challenge that they have to fill it. And then if they're able to fill those positions, only then can East Bengal think about themselves of saying, hey, listen, we can challenge for a top 6 place. If you're unable to bring in the right people, centre backs especially, more than I think the goalkeeper, I think again Prabhasukan Gill, is he really that much better than Kamaljeet? That's another thing that he has to prove. Is it worth to really spend that much of money? But again, who could be the others in the market? I think goalkeepers is generally suddenly becoming a problem, which didn't seem a problem 2 years ago, but suddenly it seems to be a problem. Who's your number 2 keeper, and how you're setting it up? And that's, I think, the biggest challenge for East Bengal at the moment, I feel.
Then where does Borja Herrera stand in all of this? Because again, not the defensive signing that most East Bengal fans want, but where does he stand in the line of signings that East Bengal have made?
I think one of the best. I think Borja Herrera is, I think, underrated. Because if you think at Hyderabad, Joao Victor didn't play as much as he was playing the seasons before, and Joao Victor is their captain. So Borja Herrera, I think, is a very, very good signing. Severio is an interesting one because I'd like to see how potentially he could play, how he could play. Is he being considered as a backup, or is he considered as a support striker to Clayton Silva? So from that perspective, good signings. But again, I think the Desi ones will decide how good East Bengal will be, and can East Bengal really convince quality players. That's why Hiren is very, very right that the signing of Nanda Kumar came at the right time. If it had, if they'd waited till the summer, I think Nanda Kumar would have gone to a bigger club. And that is a sad factor, but that's the reality of where East Bengal stands at the moment when it comes to the ISL.
One question to Sain sir about East Bengal. How do you see the outgoing of Himanshu Jangra, a very good young potential player?
He was there with us with loan. I think he was there. He was not with us contracted, so he was there in loan. And I was expecting this. I even, in fact, in our show we said that he was supposedly to leave the club. He had a good few. I think he would have stayed with East Bengal. He would have got a good game time. What I feel, because East Bengal doesn't have the power there up front. Where good Desi striker is very much needed. But again, what happens is that we are going in for big names like Rahim Ali. He's a big name. I think after Sunil Chetri, Igor Stimac prefers him playing in the final up front. So we are going in for big names, and we are ready to pay transfer fee for people. I think where I think Himanshu would, if Jangra would have stayed with East Bengal, I think that would have been better for him also, and club would also be able to save some money rather than going for big names like Rahim Ali or a Farooq Chaudhary, where we have to need to spend much more money than paying Himanshu Jangra. So I think the club should have convinced him to stay back, but it's a loss for East Bengal, I would say, because that guy has quality, and I think he would be one of the key players for the club here he joins. He has good future ahead.
So just to add to that, I think Shan, one point is I think that the player did not want to stay, because I think the player thought that he was not getting enough time under Steven in the first team and spent more time in the reserve side and played second division and RFDL, and therefore he thinks that he should be a regular in an ISL team, at least in an ISL match day squad, and get time. I think that is something of a problem for these young Indian strikers. Interesting to see where Himanshu really goes. Does he go really to an ISL team? Does he go maybe to Delhi FC, which is sort of a family in
There
the
is
sense
a
of
there is a news coming up that regarding that he might go to the FC.
and which I think might not be bad for Himanshu. I think that he's
Yes,
still so
exactly.
young. I think 1 or 2 seasons in the I League for him would be good, because it gives him a chance to evolve and develop. I think the strikers that have gone into the ISL from the I League, Vijay Sagar, I think, is a very good example. Didn't get time at BFC, didn't get time at the Blasters. Yeah, you have to take the right step at the right time. So therefore, that's for Himanshu Jangra. I think it's a very, very tough one, and we'll have to see. Yeah.
So guys, then what, in terms of the Indian market, what is left for the remaining clubs, clubs like Hyderabad, Chennai, around Glass Punjab, Northeast? What do these guys, who do they look for in terms of Indian talent? Because it looks like we've spoken about most of the Indian talent. What's left for them?
There still are players in the market. I think that there are players that the big ones also could potentially offload or send on loan. You saw Round last season having 3 players from Mumbai City on loan, Naucha and the others as well. So and it was good for these players in regard to experience. I think one team which we haven't spoken about, who are calmly, quietly building Sergio Lobera 3.0, is Odisha
Odisha.
FC. With Murtada Fall and Ahmed Jahu signing for the club. I'm a little surprised that they don't want to sign Manda Rao, who was also a trusted player of Sergio at Goa and at Mumbai. Seems to be that I think his demands and maybe his performance levels are not to the likings of Sergio, so he's looking at other players as a left back. Diego Mauricio retained. I think that's a big one for Odisha. one of the top strikers. I think one of the underrated strikers in the Indian Super League, I feel. And therefore Odisha is there. Northeast, I think, will Mandar Tamane now and Naushad Musa most probably are on some sort of scouting mission across the Northeast to unearth the next round of talent for Northeast United. I think it's a transition year at least. They've brought in an interesting Spanish coach who's done a lot of developmental work. Hyderabad is in danger of completely disintegrating. With Akash Mishra, of course, being discussed a lot. Yasir suddenly doesn't seem to be that much of a talk or chatter at the moment. Seems to be that they're trying to keep him. Sana Singh is not very clear of what his status is. I think Sana is taking care of his family and friends and whatever with the troubles in Manipur, and my best wishes to him for that. That situation doesn't go out of control again. Yeah, and then the question is, of course, Gurmeet Singh, talented keeper, got a first call up into the national team. Katimani out injured. It will be interesting to see losing Holi Charan and Rohit Danu to BFC. Hyderabad have a complete rebuilt. Looks like they will go British this time with their coach. And that's a question I'd like to see. Yeah, that what they can build, because Hyderabad, to me at the moment, how what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, it doesn't seem to me that they're a top 4 candidate or top 6 candidate as they would have been in the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, I put the question to Harry and Shan. A club that did consistently well for the last 2 years, suddenly letting go of so many players, it's kind of it's confusing almost as to why the management would let go of so many players when you're doing well and you want to keep that run going. So how do they fill in the gaps now, and where do they find the players? Shan, Harry, any of you want to?
Okay. What I would say that if you see Hyderabad, this is actually a reality of Indian football is that the teams, the financial problems of the clubs in the top tier also has a huge financial problems. So currently in case of Hyderabad, the financial problem of the club took an upper hand, and that's why they are leaving these players. There is no other reason for them leaving, because this team was playing really well, and in last 2 years, as you correctly said, that they developed as a team from scratches. They started their journey 4 years back from where they are right now. So Hyderabad will have some tough time ahead, because but still I would say if they are able to get in, as Arnavda was saying, yeah, get Yasir, Sana and Rohit Danu in their team and make a core out of it. So Hyderabad with some good foreigners, I think only one
Rodan,
foreigner.
Shan, just
Rohit
one
Danu
correction.
leaves.
Rodan Dano is going to BFC. Rohit Danu and Holi Charan, so he's gone.
Oh, he's gone. So there is only two people. No, I think Hitesh Sharma. Sorry,
Yes, Hitesh
I
Sharma.
Hitesh Sharma, sorry, Rohit Danu, I think Hitesh Sharma. So Hitesh Sharma, and if they are able to get in 3-4 good people from good foreigners in, they will be again a team will be in the middle of the table. I don't think they will fall what we are seeing. The goalkeeper again is a better position. If I see the guy already got a call up from Indian camp, so Hyderabad would be a team who would be playing better. I think this time, not like what we don't expect them to be a champions, but I think they would be a team in the middle of the table, nothing to go up much, nothing to go down much. So they would be a team in the middle of the table. I don't think they will be going in the 12th or 11th position. I don't think that if at least they are getting these three players, Mohammad Yasir, then Sana Singh, and then Hitesh Sharma to their team, and they are getting some good foreigners. They would be a team in the middle of the table. Because at least they would have some people in the core. Core team is there. Need to get in some good foreigners, and team will be set.
I think I agree with Sayan Bhai. I think this is the problem with ISL. अगर आप जब से स्टार्ट हुआ है देखिए इस सीजन से आई थिंक लग रहा है एक दो सीजन से कि भाई कुछ क्लब है वो जो स्टेबिलिटी की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं। बाकी आप देखिए कि ऑलमोस्ट नए सीजन में आपको मोस्ट ऑफ द स्क्वाड में मतलब एटलीस्ट 5 से 6 आपके जो स्टार्टिंग 11 के प्लेयर होते हैं वो चेंज दिखते ही दिखते हैं हमें एवरी आईएसएल क्लब की, ये सिर्फ हैदराबाद की बात नहीं है एंड ये दिखता रहा है। तो आई थिंक ये फाइनेंशियल इश्यू ही वन ऑफ द मेन आई थिंक फैक्टर है इसमें। और उसके अलावा आई थिंक मैनेजमेंट और आई थिंक जो मनोलो मार्केस ने जब उनको लीव करते टाइम रीजन भी दिए उनके कि क्यों लीव किए, वो पिछले साल ही कर देने वाले थे लेकिन एक साल और कंटिन्यू किया उन्होंने। तो डेफिनेटली टफ टाइम ahead फॉर हैदराबाद एफसी, लेकिन लेट्स सी कि हाउ दे आर गोइंग टू साइन पर्टिकुलरली फॉरेन प्लेयर्स एंड व्हाट आर द इंडियन प्लेयर्स आर नाउ लेफ्ट। आई थिंक वो भी देखना पड़ेगा कि कौन कौन से वो प्लेयर लगे आते हैं। तो टफ टाइम आई थिंक एंड इट विल बी नॉट going to be easy to crack that top 6 for them this time in the you can say fourth time consecutively. So let's see, but I think tough, very tough.
Arunava, then we moved to Mumbai, your club, and we spoke last time out that they don't need too many players. They just need one or two players, and one of them is Akash Mishra. Where do we stand on him? What's the latest? And yeah.
I mean, the news has been now for a few days. Marcus Magalau tweeted it as well that it seems like Akash Mishra is trending towards Mumbai City FC. It's not over the line. Otherwise, we would have heard something of the sort, someone or the other putting it out. I think that would be the big signing that Mumbai City want. Interesting to see, of course, that certain players are leaving. Interesting to see also over the last week who has extended their contracts for the long term, not just 1 year contracts, but rather 3 year contracts with Vikram Mehtab Singh. I remember Shine and I were talking about him on his channel in Bangla, where East Bengal fans thought that he might be a candidate to come back to East Bengal. And I had said at the time is that why would he, to be very honest, don't disrespect, but that's a reality as well. So they seem to be set. If you are releasing Raulin Borges as your backup defensive midfielder behind Apuya, you most probably have someone in hand. Is that going to be Anirudh Thapa, potentially? Will be interesting to see. There are one or two other players that are being linked with Mumbai City in that position. It looked like that TD would be one of the centre backs coming in for Mutala Fall. They're looking to bring in someone for Ahmed Jahu, who's been released, but they've kept Noguera, they've kept Pereira Diaz. I'm hearing that Stewart will stay as well, but that hasn't been announced so far. So therefore, Mumbai look relatively set. Lachempa has been doing well. There were rumors, of course, that Mohammad Nawaz might be going, but they've already brought in Ahan as a potential replacement as one of the most talented Indian young goalkeepers. So generally Mumbai City look good. Royston Griffiths has also extended his contract. Again, I said Mumbai City look generally settled. I'm interested to see who that Indian defensive midfielder will be. And then let's see how well they do. Des has done an excellent job with the team in the last 2 seasons. And has taken a lot of players to another level. I mean, if you look at Changte now is one of the key players of the Indian national team. I think we would have not said that 12 months ago. Mehtab Singh was never a national team centre back candidate. He now is. Vikram, I saw his interview and the way Vikram is talking. Of course, he's 21. He needs more game time. But I think, Des is trying to see what he can do. So not only him, interesting signing in the winter, Gani Nikum, of course, where they again pipped Mohun Bagan in signing the players. So Mumbai City have the players that they've targeted, they've been able to sign over the last 2 years. And now it'll be interesting to see what they do. Champions League football will be challenging. So they will need their foreigners also, the quality foreigners for that. So, yeah, I think Akash Mishra is the one that we're all waiting for. Mumbai City or Mumbai.
What I want to ask Aruna sir, what about the Murtada Fall and Ahmed Jahu replacement? Because there is no link up with any foreign players regarding the Mumbai City FC.
City Football Group is working on it. There was a link up early in the summer with Tiri, which I found very interesting because Tiri hasn't played a whole season, but Tiri is very, very experienced. And Royston Griffith is your number one centre back. So you've already sort of the centre back, Royston Griffiths, Noguera, and Pereira Diaz. You've signed your key sort of foreigners already. Now, if you can keep Greg Stewart, brilliant. Can you bring in another number, number six, or a number, yeah, number six, number eight, sort of, Ahmed Jaw is not a classic number six, so to say. So that way, and again, City Football Group in the background with their scouting and all that network, there might be someone from Australia, there might be someone from Spain. A lot is possible. I think Mumbai City looked already very, very settled, and there's not too many things to change. Therefore, the small transfers, I think, giving Raul and Borges the chance to go back to Goa for a season to get more game time is good for him. It's also good for the Indian national team, I think. And yeah, we'll see what happens. And again, I think we're waiting if Mumbai City can pull off both Akash and Anirudh Thapa.
Just one more question, Arnav. Same, just follow up. In case they choose to, in certain games, play Apuya as the holding midfielder and play Noguera and Greg Stewart both, does it? Are you at all even a little okay with that? Because that will be an exciting prospect.
If Apuya is able to do that and take that workload, then the 4-0s at home are very, very likely to continue next season for Mumbai City. And it doesn't matter if it's BFC or whoever is coming. I think that's a dangerous threat that they have. And interesting to see also, Bipin didn't have the best of last few weeks in the season, so Bipin, I think, needs to sort of up his standard. And on the other side, again, about Changte, I think don't have to say much, but if you're able to play a 4-1-4-1 system, that makes Mumbai City potentially even more deadlier. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But again, if you can bring in Akash Mishra, you have that option, that luxury, because you bring in a lot of stability into that defense, which is already good. But you add more. I think one player who often gets a lot of stick, but is the captain of the team, is Rahul Beke. Rahul Beke has had a good season in Mumbai City colours. So therefore, your first team is quite settled and quite set. And again, Purba Lachempa, what a development this boy has had over the last 2 seasons. Unbelievable, really. And that's really, Des Buckingham really working wonders. And we're not even talking about the good Kirats, Gyani Nikums, and all these kids, who are already waiting in the wings to potentially also play. So Mumbai City has some very interesting players.
It's fascinating, almost like how Mumbai City work. I think Rahul Beke has also been given a year's extension, if I'm
Yes.
not.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it looks like a pretty sorted side. Any teams that we're missing out on, or any transfers that you guys want to quickly talk about now?
Every major transfer, I think we have covered.
We've spoken about the major transfers. We can say that we've sort of not spoken a lot. Again, we've spoken a little bit about Northeast Jamshedpur. Again, I don't know, correct me, guys, very little to no information, really. And I think it starts with the discussion about AD Boothroyd. Is he staying? Is he going? I think it looks like at the moment that he's going. Chennai, of course, very little was mentioned here in the chat by Kumar, I think, if I'm right, that Ankit Mukherjee might be a candidate for Chennai. How did you find that statement from Thomas Bidaric coming out after the club announced that that it's a mutual understanding of a separation? And Thomas Bidaric said, actually, what the club a few weeks ago had told me that we would be extending. A little weird, right?
I think that's a little bit disrespecting, according to me. I think no doubt you अगर आपको continue नहीं करना है तो I think it's a there is a better way to, you can say, communicate. So I think it's a part from mistake from the, you can say, CEO's point of view. I think what they transfer into the coach and the owner. I think the middleman is there. So I think the communication, I think lack of communication, you can say, or clarity.
Shan?
No, the as Thomas, I think Thomas deserved a season. What
Season,
if you ask?
exactly.
He deserved a season, and again it shows how we have a very low. We don't look into. We are not that far sighted enough to look into coaches giving a longer tenure. Because if you see all the ISL clubs who were in the top 4 this time, they had their coaches. I think barring I think all the
Hyderabad.
basically Hyderabad 3 years. Then you have got Mohun Bagan, who was in the second year. Des Buckingham, after a poor first season, he came back. So we have to understand that every coach needs time, and we need to. If you see all the successful clubs are they are giving their time. Chennai again they would need to start from the scratches, and if you are going to sign Ankit Mukherjee, if they're it's fine they can sign, but yeah, again, what Kumar is saying is a valid point that if you want to compete in ISL and be, you are one of the champions, you won the title twice, so people expect you to win this tournament. So it's very important that we need to get in better signings, and it's a disrespectful. At Harry said, I totally agree with him. It's totally disrespectful, and it shows still now our top clubs are not able to run professionally. I think that professional setup is missing in many of the clubs. I think that is a lesson to be learned for to other from our clubs from other clubs of other nations. I think this mutual separation when we separate, I think we should separate in a better way, not like this.
Rahul?
uh it's when these kind of things happen, it's very hard because I mean, because we are in the outside, we don't exactly know what has gone on and what has exactly happened. But even me, I think I'm with Shine. I think he deserved one more season. It was not that bad of a side. I think a couple more players, and they would look a decent side to probably go for like a fifth or fourth place finish in the league. But yeah, it's just sad to see that he's had to go like this, and yeah, it's again, it's like a rebuild process, and this time I don't think Chennai have a shot at the top six.
Only German coach in ISL.
No, the second one, Marco Pezzaioli
Second.
at BFC.
Yeah.
Currently only.
Karnita. No, again, I'm trying to, let's see if I can get hold of Thomas Bidaric. He literally lives about 40 kilometers away from me, so I'm trying to do a podcast. Let me see in the coming days if I can speak to Thomas Bidaric and find out something. But again, Chennai, and I've said this a few times. Crivellaro and then El Khayati, two of the best sort of creative players that this league has seen, but injury prone. I think a fit Al Khayati
is very dangerous.
And Chennai easily would have been a top 6 side, maybe even a top 4 side. So that's the point. Why Al Khayati didn't get a contract in the Netherlands, right? Because the clubs know that we're not talking about the quality of the player, but again, injury prone. And that's, I think, the big lesson, I think, also for Chennai, and hopefully that they understand that whoever is are the foreigners, again, quality is one thing, but also look at their medical history. And that would be an interesting one to look at, and yeah, will be interesting as well. And Kumar was asking about Round Glass Punjab. I think Round Glass Punjab is doing its work calmly and quietly. So yes, very, very true. But they're doing their homework. I think they were more focused on their homework of getting themselves ready to play ISL. Big thing, of course, that they passed the club licensing Premier 1, which I also feel very interesting. The FF didn't sell it as such, but all clubs have failed Premier 2 in the I-League. I think that should be a worrying factor, because in the future that could mean that you could be thrown out of the league. But Round Glass is working on it, one or the other. They're looking at certain players from the ISL, trying to retain certain players that they had, amongst them the foreigners. Will be interesting if Luka Machin and Juan Mera really stay and play ISL. That would be an interesting one, because we've also seen Josep Abetia winning the I-League with Mohun Bagan, and then last season with Northeast. That's a quality player. So that would be interesting to see if Round Glass are really able. The coach has extended his contract, so that's a good thing. The technical director has extended his contract, so that's where it stands really with Round Glass Punjab. But I think they'll be making announcements in the next few weeks when they can say a little bit more of where they're playing, what the ideas and plans of the franchise of the club are.
Then we have a couple more questions. We'll take them up and we'll see where it goes. Okay. So why don't German coaches work out in India? What's been the story for German coaches? Now you mentioned Marco, and Is what is it?
Time was not given to them. I think Marco Pezzaioli, I think is a. I think a lot of people don't realize. No disrespect to the other coaches, Marco Pezzaioli most probably was one of the most high-profile coaches to coach in India. But he was not given time because Marco is quite demanding. Marco came into a BFC which was in transition. Just think about Simon Grayson. I think another loss in Simon Grayson might have been gone. Juan Ferrando was most probably 1 or 2 losses away from being sacked in January. So that's that. Thomas, I felt Thomas Bidaric did well for the squad that he had. Played an attacking brand of football. I like the football that Chennai played, even with or without Al Khayati. But again, they got taken apart by the bigger sides. If you see that 2-6 loss to Mumbai at home, they were leading 2-0, but then Mumbai literally steamrolled them. So therefore, it'll be interesting to see how they sort of set themselves up. But I think again, German coaches, German players, we've seen now Julius Dücker at Chennai, like the way he played, but he's been released. We had Matti Steinmann at East Bengal, who I thought did quite well for them. Manu Friedrich with us in the first season at Mumbai City as well as a centre-back. So the Germans have done okay for themselves, but it seems to be more of a Spanish/British market at the moment and not too much of a German or Dutch or French or Italian, let's say. So that's the reality. So Roshan, that would be my answer. Brother, you are German as well, so maybe you might have a solution or an answer to this as well.
Shine, any thoughts on German coaches in India?
I would agree with you. Actually, this German coaches didn't have the time, because if you see, in case of Marco also, the BFC was in that time was in a transition mode, and in case of Thomas also in Chennai Chennai played, I think, decent this time. With the injuries they had, they were a team which played to their potential. If you say budget, I think their budget was one of the lowest budget they had. Barring getting, I think El Khayati was the only player he was given a lot of money. But if you see the transfer market, one of the lowest low cost team was Chennai FC, and the way they played, I think they played pretty decent. Well, they played really well. Somehow it didn't work, but I think this is a problem. It's too a smaller sample size to comment on this. Too smaller sample size. 2 coaches in a single season. It's very difficult. 1.5 season.
Harry?
I think one of the reason जो मेरे को लगता है कि the Spanish culture in terms of the Indian culture, अगर आप देखें तो थोड़ा सा coaches को वो भी one of the I think reason है कि वो better understanding में आते. No doubt language wise थोड़ा सा barrier है, लेकिन फिर भी I think लगता है कि और जो condition भी है, अगर स्पेन की अगर आप देखें कि वो सारी कंडीशन वेदर वाइज, तो मोर ऑफ ए सिमिलर यू कैन से कि इंडिया और जर्मनी थोड़ा सा उस सेंस में भी आई थिंक मेरे को लगता है कि कहीं ना कहीं वो एक वन ऑफ द रीजन हो सकता है कि जर्मन कोचेस भी उतना ज़्यादा प्रीफर ना करते हो इंडिया आने के लिए. सो ये भी एक ज़्यादातर अरुणव सर को पता होगा कि भाई ये क्योंकि उनको डिलीवरी तो उनको वहाँ से ही करनी है कि कौन कौन से वो है. लेकिन आई थिंक वन ऑफ द रीजन वो हो सकता है. और टाइम देखिए, आप जितने भी जर्मन कोचेस जो सक्सेसफुल हुए, चाहे आप यूरोपियन फुटबॉल में भी ले लीजिए, वो वही सक्सेसफुल है कि जो जिनको प्रॉपर एक क्या बोलते हैं कि प्रोजेक्ट दिया गया है. क्लॉप उसका बेस्ट एग्जांपल है. तो ये कहीं ना कहीं वो थोड़ा सा आईएसएल में मिसिंग है अभी.
I think I agree with you guys also. I remember Arnava, we discussed this as well. Marco actually was, to me, he looked like somebody who had a plan and who came in with a plan to try and play with the ball. And just unfortunately wasn't given enough time, and he didn't get the time to bring in the players that he wanted and implement his system, and ultimately led to...
Roshan is one of his products, right? So Roshan, I think, wouldn't be playing at the level that he is if Marco Pezzaioli didn't give him the chance. So that's a reality as it stands. So therefore, again, it's a question of timing, and I know that there is a, if we like it or not, there is a certain nervousness with club managements that they do become nervous at some stage, and then when things are not going your way. So it's a huge challenge. So therefore, yeah, it would be interesting to see um, if if uh, if how they want to take it forward, and how they potentially could take it to the next level.
Guys, any other interesting transfers or rumors that you've heard about that could possibly get done in the next week or so before we come back for our next chat?
I think people are eager about Anirudh Thapa, but I think it will
It will
require
take
some
some
time.
time.
I will take some time, right?
I think
It will
Anirudh
not
Thapa,
be.
yeah, Anirudh Thapa is one of those which, if it happens, it will most probably happen in July, August.
Hmm.
I think
Mm.
the next one amongst the biggest, I'm interested to see if Akash Mishra really happens. I thought last week, I told
Hmm.
Shine as well, I thought last week was the time that will be announced. So let's see. So I think those two are the biggest transfers. We've not heard anything on Jason Cummins recently. I don't know if you've heard anything, but that I thought that was a done deal. So let's see if Mohun Bagan Supergiant announced that transfer in the coming days. They've been linked to other players as well. So yeah, there's enough to talk to, and let's make this a Tuesday evening ritual for us to sort of catch up and talk about transfers in Indian football.
For sure. Do you guys? Okay, let's just quickly take this up because Codesp has been asking us a few times. Last one, guys. What about Idris Sadi to NU to Northeast? Arnavas and Harry, anyone wants to take this one up? Have you guys heard anything
I've
about it?
I've not heard about this one. I don't know if you've heard anything about this.
No update.
I have heard he's an Algerian player who got this link up with Northeast United, but I don't think I don't know what is currently the status of the transfer. If it happens, he's a very good player. I've seen his pedigree. I've gone through. It's a very good player. If they're able to get in, it's a good signing for them. But I don't. I have not heard much about it.
So, Codesp, that's your answer. As of now, nothing much on it. Thanks, guys, for so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. And
I
this,
Rahul,
yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to do again. I wanted to take our discussion a little international. I
Okay.
see a certain Lionel Messi and the Barca logo in the background. Harry, in
Yes.
Inter Miami. What do you say?
Inter.
Would you have liked Leo Messi to come back to Barca, or is it okay with the given financial circumstances of him going to the
I am
MLS?
okay. I am okay with Premier League also. He
Acha.
should be staying in the European League. Inter Miami is matlab already he wasted his 2 years in PSG. I didn't watch any match of PSG. 2 years only FIFA World Cup. So I think for a Messi fan, I think this past I think 2-3 years is really मतलब we मतलब मैंने तो enjoy नहीं किया है उसका जो last का career था. I think it's really disappointing. Inter Miami, I think league wise, I think it's below than I think currently अगर आप देखें तो I think Saudi league मेरे हिसाब से I think Saudi league is going on a upper direction. I think the way they are I think hyped up and the way they are players signing up. I think more people are you can say in particularly in Asia are you can say keen toward the Saudi league rather than Inter Miami or it's you can say vacation league. चिल करो मौज करो आराम करो आप अब देखिए जितने भी लेजेंडरी प्लेयर है सारे वो मतलब इंटर मियामी कब गए हैं कि जब उनको स्ट्रेस बिल्कुल नहीं चाहिए फुटबॉल खेलना है लेकिन स्ट्रेस फ्री फुटबॉल तो वो सिर्फ एक ही जगह पे मिलता है दैट्स द एमएलएस एंड आई
But
थिंक
I would argue with that, Harry, because I think
हाँ
I would say that the MLS is sort of the fastest growing league in the world, and if you look at their system with the conferences, with the number of matches, with their playoffs, with continental competitions, with the USSF Cup of the
हाँ
Federation, they play more matches in America than they play in Europe. So
हाँ
that way,
एग्जैक्टली हाँ
so छुट्टी का बात कहाँ से आ रहा है भाई?
आप देखो ना प्लेयर सारे यूरोपियन टॉप प्लेयर देख लो आप कब कब गए हो वहां पे
But I see. For example, one of the best players in the league, Hani Mukhtar,
हाँ
former player of Hertha BSC Berlin and played at Benfica. He went at 25. One of those under 21 Euro winners with Germany. So they've had some of these kids, and I think if you see, and the interesting fact that I find is that every club, every franchise in the league has financially chipped in for Inter Miami to sign that player. Just think,
प्लेयर यस
just think, Jason Cummings आ रहा है ISL
हाँ,
में
हाँ,
मुंबई सिटी मोहन बगान ईस्ट बंगाल भी पैसा दे रहे हैं इस प्लेयर को साइन करने के लिए.
हाँ, exactly.
I find that very interesting in the concept of that American sort of system of
System.
29 franchises really putting out their money. So yeah, so therefore that's it. That I find it an interesting one, and if you see the reactions, if you see especially how it galvanized the and what kind of memes I thought the funniest I found is um, Messi joins PSG to be close to the Qataris for the 2022 World Cup. Now the World
हाँ,
Cup goes to the US.
because
Messi
America,
goes
yes, yes.
America chala gaya. So there was this very funny meme.
That's the conspiracy theory going on that
Yeah,
he might. But today he himself announced that I am not going to play 2026 World Cup.
exactly. So, but I think that's a big one on the international stage. And one last night, Orithro was also asking about it. Kylian Mbappe last night saying, "I will not extend at PSG,"
Yes.
putting a lot of
Fantastic.
pressure on the club potentially, who are trying to see how they can sort themselves out. What do you would think? Real Madrid signing Mbappe, Bellingham already done, maybe Harry Kane. Wow.
I think Real Madrid is the, you can say, the real option currently. I think they are the front runners, to be honest. And if I think Manchester Qatari deal is worked out, then might be Manchester United also comes into the picture. I think no doubt they have currently they have very little chance, but I think Real Madrid are the favorites. I think the way they offload their players. I think one of the reason for Karim Benzema to leave, I think, is they know that either of, I think one of them is definitely coming, Harry Kane or Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid, definitely, because they lose Hazard, Benzema, and I think another Asensio. Three forwards are left, so, and they already signed I think Brahim Diaz. So only one forward is come.
Mhm.
I think definitely one of them are definitely is coming to Real Madrid. I think it's again the Galactico days are back in full swing.
That's interesting. Well,
David Beckham, Ronaldo, this era is come.
Zinedine Zidane,
Zidane.
those were the teams. A little bit of international football in the end. Shayan, anything to add? An international transfer you are looking forward to, and not East Bengal linked, please, huh? Please international. Huh?
No, East Bengal. But if you ask me a transfer,
East
whichever,
Bengal, East Bengal is an international club, so that comes into the consideration.
Very well said, Hiren. Very well said. Ha, Shayan, you are under pressure
but
now.
I am always under pressure due to my club's performance.
That's a different
but
topic. We will do a separate episode with you with that one day.
but if you ask me, a transfer which I was eagerly waiting. Well, Arithro was saying I'm seeing Mbappe to Madrid. I think that would be a I think that would be a perfect move for Mbappe. I think see, if you see Real Madrid, as Hari was also saying, that they had always got in great players, and this year I am thinking what I can assess is that Real Madrid is making a team again क्या बोलते हैं, like something which we always vouch for. So Real Madrid is making a team like Real Madrid should make. So Mbappe to Madrid would be a great thing. Messi to I think if he agree better, Messi would have stayed in Europe. I agree with Harry, but again, financial part is also looked into. And no disrespect to MLS, I think MLS has been MLS is one of the fastest growing league, as Arunavada was saying. And I see this what the new concept which you said right now, that all the clubs are paying money to get in a player, and I hope this would have been possible for in Indian football also someday.
Aruna sir, one concept is also going on there. Messi doesn't know about the business because he should sign for you can say Saudi league and 1 point more than 1 billion deal, and then he can buy the whichever MLS club he wants.
I mean, it's a differently structured league, right? So the league again, he's got a base salary. I mean, he's a designated player, so he's going to be on a high salary, but he's going to get a certain percentage of money coming in pay-per-view on Apple TV globally. I think Adidas and him as his personal sponsors, he's going to get something out of the shirt sales. all the matches that Inter Miami play from now till the end of the season are sold out. All matches.
All the
All matches, home or away. This is an unbelievable level.
great.
Forget, even Cristiano Ronaldo couldn't do it in Saudi. So that is that, and as you said, he has the opportunity to potentially either buy a stake in Inter Miami or maybe potentially launch a new franchise. And interestingly, what a lot of people are forgetting is that Lionel Messi has a base in Miami. So he has business in
Yes,
Miami. I was not
Miami.
sure. I've read it somewhere, but I'm not sure that even has a restaurant or something of the sort.
Yes, 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 yes.
So therefore, again, it from that perspective, and again, if you've got the option, you've lived in Barcelona, you've lived in Paris. Miami is a better option. I would have said I would have said Mumbai, but again, Miami is just a little bit ahead of Mumbai. Right? No, but again, it just adds up. So those are the interesting international transfers, and again, I think we will Rahul will make a tradition out of this to sit
Yeah,
down on
yeah.
Tuesdays on the Candid Football Conversations, and again, so therefore, thanks a lot, Shayan.
Thank you.
Now your
Thank
chance
you.
to plug your channel, Shayan. Once, what's your platform here on YouTube?
See, my channel named Indian Food and Football. Basically, we cover Indian football on a basis, and we are a channel. Our channel mainly aims to make India qualify one day for World Cup. So this
Just
is the
just
dream.
one, just one question to Sayan sir about the channel. I lot
I
of
know.
I see a lot of about football. What about the food?
Oh, Hiren, this is a very dicey topic for Shayan. Shayan, I think, will stop being a YouTuber very, very soon if we continue to ask this. I asked this question yesterday on his show, and everybody supported me on this, that Shayan, once a week at least, needs to start doing a show on food. So
Food,
it hasn't
yes.
started, but Shayan, please answer
I
that
want
question. I did not say
want
anything.
I only subscribe because I see Indian food.
That means I should not do much of football then.
No.
He read so many competition down. No. But saying that, if you the people who are watching the show, kindly, if you like to follow Indian football, we make generally shows about Indian football, and we want India to one day seriously qualify for the FIFA World Cup. It's our dream, and so our channel was made to make this football more popular among Indians, because we have a very limited reach. We all know, and we have to support this thing, and we are all this journey to support Indian football. So if you do like this content, kindly subscribe to my channel, Indian Food and Football, and do also subscribe to Arun Food and Sports Company, who gave me this platform to come over here, and to my brother Curious Harry. I think one of the most energetic person I have come across in recent past.
But he's no longer your friend. Huh? After this food question, Harry, ये तुम्हारा दोस्त नहीं
Why?
रहेगा.
नहीं नहीं नहीं
He's
नहीं.
out. Yeah. So but again,
सैन भाई को पता है बंगाली फूड उनको बताना है यार, ऐसे नहीं चलेगा.
हाँ. I think I'm building that pressure on him. I've even said I want to start a protest. Jama Masjid bol rahe. Some protest in front of his house. I've spoken to people. So I think Shayan needs to do a little bit more of food. But again, Hiren bhai, Curious Harry, तुम्हारा platform तो बोला Shayan, but again, if you want to plug it, your chance now.
Yes, definitely. I think we all are trying. I think Sain bhai ने बिल्कुल सही बोला कि the aim is to, you can say, aware the people more about the Indian football and what's happening there, and to join, I think, the younger generation, जिनको मतलब जो यूरोपियन फुटबॉल तो देखते ही ऑलरेडी, लेकिन उनको इंडियन फुटबॉल में भी क्या चेंजेस आ रहे हैं, पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव, कहाँ पे इंडियन टीम खड़ी है. आई थिंक एंड दी I think ultimate goal is obviously the FIFA World Cup. So please guys do check out to Curiosity and obviously Science Food and Football. Only subscribe to Indian Food and Football when he made food videos. Otherwise don't, because we have to make that video. Sen bhai, you have to make that video. Food.
We are all waiting.
Waiting.
Thanks, Hiren. Thanks, Shayan. Rahul, thanks a lot for joining up again. Big thank you also in the background to Akshata, who as always is there as the good soul in the background. Thanks, Akshata, for that as well. So therefore, also do subscribe to Sports Covery. Do subscribe to Arun Foot. We'll be coming with more candid football conversations, and I think we'll make it a Tuesday tradition to come and talk about Indian football transfers. Thanks a lot, and good night.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
night.